There's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello BookTube, I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. Here I am with another tag, another one from Strip Cover Lit. 52 Nifty Bookish Questions tag. Not sure about nifty, but the tag is fun, and I'm gonna do it. I was tagged by just one reader. His video was great too. I will link to that. A lot of these questions didn't resonate for me, and I'm going to be a little bit sassy in my replies, but this is not meant to be any disrespect to Strip Cover Lit, Adrian, or Dalton, not in any way, but I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this, and this is the Tipsy version. Ready to give this a go. Let's get started, shall we? 1. What book are you reading right now? I am reading about 7 or 8 or 9 books. Let's see. I'm not going to show them to you. I am reading, for Britta Bowler's Nobel Women Read-Along, The Good Earth by Pearl Buck. A whole bunch for Black History Month. The Blacker the Berry, a Harlem Renaissance novel by Wallace Thurman. The Street by Ann Petrie. A work of history, Almost Home, Maroons Between Slavery and Freedom in Jamaica, Nova Scotia, and Sierra Leone by Ruma Chopra. Zora Neale Hurston's debut novel, Jonah's Gourdvine, a novel I'm doing on audio from South Africa, Mother to Mother by Sindiwe Magona. This is for Karen of Run Right Reads book club. A book of poetry, collected poems by County Cullen. That's what I'm reading now. Got my reading cut out for me, hey? What was the last thing you highlighted? I think it was the Zora Neale Hurston novel. Let's see, what did I last highlight? I don't use a physical highlighter at all. Haven't since about 1987. But when I'm reading an ebook, I do highlight. Well, here's one that the strip cover lit dudes might appreciate. I will put a image in the video. I highlighted the word breaster because I didn't know what it meant, and Google didn't help me out. But the protagonist is John, and he's this really sexy, philandering, adorable African-American guy in about the year 1900 or something. And on Sunday, John and his breaster went into town to church. And he was away from his wife, and he was a total cheater and philanderer. But does breaster mean something like that? Like a temporary girlfriend who has boobies? I couldn't figure out what it was, but that's the last thing I highlighted, so you asked! What do you plan to read next? Probably the next one that I will start is a 1-volume short story by Kazuo Ishiguro, and this is published by Faber to commemorate their 90th anniversary. Come rain or come shine. I will be starting that this weekend. And I'll be doing a kind of a discussion video with Doris of Aldi Books about that. So I'm looking forward to that. Alright, moving on. Number 4, one fiction writer, living or dead, with which I would like to grab a drink. Barbara Pym, hands down. I don't know if she drank, but I want to drink with her. And then we'll go out and stalk hot men. 5, one non-fiction writer, living or dead, with which I would like to grab a drink. Non-fiction writer. Steve Donahue. One poet, living or dead, with which I would like to grab a drink. Ocean Vuong. 7, one booktuber with which I would like to grab a drink. I can't choose one. I'm choosing the T-Hags! 8, Emily Dickinson or Edgar Allan Poe. Even though I'm not very interested in poetry, I would hands down choose Emily Dickinson, because I read a biography of her and her crazy, sexually scandalous family a couple of years ago. 9, Hemingway or Fitzgerald. I'm not interested in either, but Bookish, he's working on me with his video series about Hemingway, but no. So I would choose Ngugi wa Thiong'o. 10, Jane Austen or Charles Dickens. Jane Austen, but I would much rather make a third choice, and that would be Denton Welch. 11. Hairy ass or hitch up your pants? Oh, sorry, my eyes are bad. Harris or Hitchens? I would say No Violet Bulawayo. 12. Stephen King or Michael Crichton? Enid Blyton. 13. Bret Easton Ellis or Chuck the Book Maniac? Chuck Palahniuk. Britta Bowler. 14. Kurt Vonnegut or John Green? So it goes, so it goes. 15. Shakespeare's poems or plays? His tweets. Shakespeare. Who cares about Shakespeare? 16. Adrian Fort or Dalton Gentry? I'm very polyamorous, so threesome would be good. 17. Cormac, McCarthy or J.K. Rowling? Alice Munro. 18. Hannibal Lecter or Voldemort? I have no idea what this is about, so I'm just going to say Nelson Mandela. T.C. Boyle or George Saunders? I didn't like George Saunders' short story collection, Juneteenth, I don't know what it was. Didn't like it, tried it twice, and then his novel was a bit of a mess too. T.C. Boyle, I would like to try, but I would opt for Carolyn Keene of Nancy Drew. Good writing or good story? One is impossible without the other. YA, bleh. Children's lit, bleh. Middle grade, occasionally I can stomach that. 22. Irony or humor? 23. Sci-fi or horror? That's like choosing a root canal or an appendectomy. You choose for me. Fantasy or nonfiction? Nonfiction that I can fantasize too. Rather find a new favorite contemporary writer or a new favorite old-time great? The latter. Next question. Sestina or Villanelle? I prefer fettuccine. Says spend the evening at a library or a bookstore? I don't go to libraries. Bookstore, of course. Magazine or Wikipedia? Wikipedia. Dictionary or encyclopedia? Definitely dictionary. The writer I would like to write my biography? Britta Bowler. She knows all the juicy bits. 32. I do or do not highlight in my books. Ebooks, yes. Highlighters are just, I'm way too old to use a highlighter anymore. I do or do not write in my books. Only if it's a beat-up reader copy or sometimes non-fiction. Earliest memory of a library. Story hour. I was about 5 years old. In the small town Saskatchewan, Canada. In the early 1970s. Have you ever stolen or accidentally stolen books from the library? Yes. I will just put a link in the show notes to the video I made about Neil, the gay librarian who saved my life. 32. Ballpark. How many books do you own? I don't know. Around 500? Maybe I don't think it's 1,000 yet, but it probably will be by the end of this year, and I don't own any ballparks. 38. How many books do you think would make for a reasonable personal library? Who the fuck cares about reasonable? 500,000. Jesus. 39. So there's Sense and Sensibilities and Sea Monsters, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, etc. How do you feel about the phenomena? Deeply uninteresting! 40. Horror trope you would like to see get more love. What I would like to see get more love is the idea of banishing the word trope from the English vocabulary. It has no meaning. It's the stupidest word. The other thing I would like to see get more love within horror literature is readable, non-puke-worthy writing. Something you think gets underutilized in sci-fi. Dildos. 42. Flash fiction. Form of and format of literature, or it's just a short story dummy. Depends who's flashing me. What the hell is flash fiction? 43. If you could own one book from all of history, what would it be? 44. Audiobooks, the same as reading? Okay, so this one I will answer more seriously. No, of course it's not the same as reading. Sometimes it is a deeper experience than mere reading. Sometimes it's a lesser experience. In my experience of both media, about 20 or 15 or 20% it's superior. 20% of the time it's equal to, and so what is that? 65% it's inferior to, and that's just me. I don't have any judgment about other people valorizing or privileging or extolling the virtues of audiobooks. I love audiobooks sometimes. The prime way to experience a work of literature is to have the audiobook in your ears and the physical or ebook in your lap and do the two together in tandem. That is a trip and a half. Most literary songwriter of your lifetime? Bob Dylan. I mean, hello. 46. What writer embarrasses you the most because you haven't read them? I've been embarrassed by writers, but I don't think that's the focus of this question. Who am I embarrassed not to have read? Jesus. 47. What writer embarrasses you because you've read too much from them? Henry James. What a freaking waste of time. 48. What is a biography you are looking forward to reading? I am currently reading a novel from the Harlem Renaissance by Wallace Thurman, The Blacker the Berry. And so far I've only been able to find out about one biography of him, and it's not even in print, but I will track down a used copy and hopefully read it, if not before, for Nonfiction November, because his very short life was fascinating. Oh, and Queen Elizabeth's great-grandmother, the Duchess of Teck. Here's a picture. She was fabulous. I love her. 49. Do you have a dream reading chubby? Oh, a dream reading cubby. I still don't know what it means. I'm too gay. All these words have different permutations in my world. Yeah, let's just move on, shall we? 50. Last literary phenomenon that really got your gears grinding. Myth and fairy tale retellings in modern fiction, for crying out loud. 51. What was the last piece of literature that changed the way you read? My first manga in translation, where I had to start at the back and move to the front. 52. What booktuber have you been watching the most recently? I watch the same booktubers and I discover new booktubers, but I don't usually go and do deep dives on booktubers, so I would just say one of my new, very most favorite booktubers is Charlotte of Tired Mama Tries to Read. Alright, so I will tag Charlotte of Tired Mama Tries to Read. I will tag Heidi of My Reading Life. I will tag Natalie of My Reading Days. Too Tight Lautrec. I don't think I've ever seen Too Tight Lautrec do a tag video, but this might be a good one to start with. What the hell? Kathy Trinhart, who was one of the co-sponsors of the Read Your Shelves recently. And a new to me channel that everybody else seems to have discovered months, if not years before I did, Old Blues Chapter and Verse. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for watching.